Hey guys, I am Nimit Brumbat and you are listening to my Not So Profound Thoughts. So, I still have the leg problem, that is, I have a ligament tear in my foot, and that is why I am recording it at my home without any equipment through my mobile. Today, I am going to talk about the OYO IPO that it has filed for the draft red herring prospectus with the SEBI, and it has filed for 8,430 crore IPO, for which majority of his stakeholder is SoftBank, which owns around 46.6%, whereas Ritesh Agrawal and his holding company together hold a share of 33 percentage. So I have listed out pros and cons, and I'll also provide my opinion whether to invest in it or not at a later stage in this video. So the basic facts are that it has grown at a way too much large scale during the pandemic, while majority of it is been because of the inorganic growth, that we say that it has mainly acquired many companies, and in its profit and loss balance sheet, in its balance sheet it shows way too much amount of goodwill that it has paid, and most of the, and I can say that even 25 to 30% of the IPO subscription that it is going to raise, or the amount it is going to raise, is going to be paid to this subsidiaries, because it was a cash deal, and the proceeds that will be utilized for its subsidiaries, the OYO subsidiaries, which has a borrowing, and will be paid 2,441 crore, and it will pay almost 2,900 crore for the inorganic growth that it did in 2020 and 2021, and its balance sheet shows a huge amount of goodwill, which is not a good sign according to me, because the hospitality industry is very competitive. I personally own a hotel, and I understand the customers' behavior, back end of the back end of the process, as well as acquiring companies at a certain point of time just to have good market share, and not generating enough operating cash flows or profits, which can be utilized to reduce or minimize the losses, again is not being shown in the OYO's scenario, because since inception, as the prospectus says, that OYO has losses since inception. It also says that OYO may not be able to grow in a manner that it has grown in the historical rate. It may not support that. The industry itself is growing at a 6.6 CAGR. It is expected that the industry will grow at a 6.6 CAGR. But if we talk about investing in a company, it is not about the macro factors that are affecting. The industry might grow at a 1 or 2% rate. It might grow at a 20% rate, or it might grow at a 10% rate. I do not care about that. It is the company that is growing at a 10 to 15% or 20% CAGR. For an investor like me, or other investors which I talk to, or my friends, we expect that the company should be giving at least 15 to 20% returns every year on year basis, and I do not think that OYO might be able to give it. So what changes happened in the pandemic in OYO? So it stopped offering minimum guarantees and no longer invest in upgrading the hotels. What it used to do is, it used to offer minimum guarantees, and it used to invest certain amount of money, even though the hotel is very old, or uh, let's say it is not of any one-star hotel also. So it would invest 6 to 7 lakhs or 5 to 6 lakhs, make breakfast free for the customers who are, and the breakfast might include bread and butter or something else. So whatever the minimum thing that a customer would want was earlier available. If I look at 5 years down the line, I also used to use Oyo rooms a lot because while traveling, Make My Trip and bookings or Go IBBO were not available for each and every hotel, and Oyo was the first one. I can say that it was the reach was there, the maximum, but due to internet upgradation and coming of 4G from 3G, and now we are moving towards 5G, the internet penetration and the penetration of Make My Trip, Go Ibibo, TripAdvisor, Booking.com, you can say, you can name XYZ companies, and they have penetrated as far as the Oyo has penetrated. Even though we might not use app for booking on Make My Trip or Booking.com or Go Ibibo, we all use websites, and they are the major competitors. Also, Oyo provides other basic things like revenue management system and all the backend support that is needed for a hotel to run, for inventory management, to understanding what the pricing should be and all. But now it has turned into a different model, and even though it is providing all these things, it is either collaborating with on a revenue sharing basis, like the price is suppose 1,000, then it would take approximately 20% of the fair share and directly take 800 200 out of it. So this is what is going on with Oyo as of now. One of my competitor is already using Oyo, and I know that he is a friend also. We can say as a, in terms of business, is competitor also, and they keep on telling us that what is happening in that industry. So in the 2020, the gross margins also increased to 33% from just 9.7%, because it cut down all these unnecessary expenses like upgrading the hotel and minimum guarantees that it used to offer. The changes in revenue is also there, but I do not understand the startup idea, or even if I understand as a point of view of a businessman, it is not good for any business to have negative cash flows or negative profits for a longer period of time, just to increase market share. But if you think as a perspective of investor, I do not care whether the business is earning or not. If the valuation is increasing, my profits are also going to increase. Suppose if I invest at a certain point of time, let's say X point of time, 1 lakh rupees into certain business, and the valuation keeps on increasing, and my invested amount gets 10 times, even though the company is earning not earning profits, I am, as an investor, my 1 lakh has turned into 10 times, and I might exit from that also. So what is happening is the Ritesh Agrawal's holding company as well as SoftBank is diluting its stake for giving the, so Ritesh as well as SoftBank would be earning a huge amount of money, even though the business is into losses. So let me tell you the snapshot. In financial year 21, the revenue is 4,157 crores. Expenditure is 6,936 crores. And the loss is 3,929 crores. As of now, that is registered, even the losses that has been carried forward. So all this losses is there. So my main intention is that I usually do not invest in companies which has a negative cash flow or cannot generate a free cash flow to the firm or cannot give me returns of 15 to 20% per annum, and definitely not in the companies which are into losses. Because if we see, if most of the 45% of the Indians as are who are investing are retail investors, and as a retail investor, I would not like to invest in company which are not making into losses, because as I said that it has a huge amount of goodwill that is shown in the balance sheet, and if the company fails to grow, that goodwill would be thrown off and the valuation would decrease. Just because the funding is coming in, the valuation is keeping on increasing. And the major, not told by me, this one is not told by me, but it has been explained by one of the major financial gurus called Ashwath Damodaran, wherein he explains that the inorganic growth that startups have, that they keep on acquiring companies in the name of synergy, where the synergy doesn't happen, and you have this merger, you acquire this company, and then ultimately the whole company, over a longer period of time, the goodwill also dissolves, the business may not earn as much as synergy which you thought would have. So in terms of IPO is a seller's market, and the OYO is definitely using it for their loan repayments by their subsidiaries, as well as payment to the uh, acquisition. And as a retail investor, I would not love to invest in an IPO where they are using their proceedings for repayment of loans. So that's it for today. So if you like the video, do subscribe my channel, and thank you.